Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Potato. This is Transport Fever DOS. With more excitement and with more explosions than the first game. There's not more explosions, but there is more excitement, I can guarantee you that. Right, so, things are looking pretty darn good. We're taking a little look at Gravesend at this particular moment. Gravesend is not doing too badly. Initially, my thought process was, hey, I mean, we need to try and get as much bread over here as possible, but the Battle Doof to Gravesend route has kind of been playing havoc with that plan for a little bit of a complicated reason, I guess. I think it basically means is that we're now only shipping about 50% of our food from the local Gravesend food processing plant, which seems a little bit counterintuitive, I guess. So what I want to do in the first instance is shelve the Battle Doof to Gravesend route. Now, that comes with its own problems, because at this moment in time, we are only able to supply this food processing plant with 600 grain. So if we do the maths on that, 600 grain will roughly equate to about 300 bread. However, part of the reason that I wanted to get the Battle Doof to Gravesend route to supply food to Gravesend is that, as you can see, we need 21 more units than the maximum that we can currently produce at the Gravesend food processing plant. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I think we're just gonna have to do it, because at the moment I'm super unhappy about the fact that we're only shipping 162 bits of food. So we're gonna do that straight up, and we're gonna get that all fixed up first in the first instance. That's not to say we're gonna waste the food production in battle, but we're gonna rejig it a little bit. Secondly, something else that I want to try and do is I want to basically connect up the South Gravesend route. I don't know if it's south. What have we got over here? The Shifnal route. What's the Shifnal route in, or what's this? This is the East Shifnal Express. I guess we could kind of have the South Shifnal Express, I guess. I don't know why we're, making up train routes with everything relative to Shifnal. It doesn't particularly matter. But, the point is that I want to connect up Bishop's Stortford, I want to connect up Brentwood, and I also want to connect up, yes, Swaffham. What a wonderful name. I tell you what, there are a couple more towns and places over here that we need to connect up. But I think, Brentwood, Bishop's Stortford, and Swaffham. Swaffham sounds like, I don't know, it's like a utensil that you would use to get rid of flies or something. Swaffham. Just, Swaffham. That's right. That's trademark, so don't even think about trying to develop a similar fly removal utensil. That's right. Also, we still haven't unlocked a second runway, but when we do, we probably will deploy that. We can deploy a second runway at both of our primary airport locations. So we'll look forward to that. So that's what I want to get to. I want to, rejig the Gravesend Battle Doof route. Why don't I do that right now, actually? Yeah, Battle Doof to Gravesend. You are currently actually just going back, so I mean, what we could do is we could just get you to, instead of doing what you're currently doing, I've got a wonderful idea here. We can configure this route, Battle Doof to Gravesend. So instead of transporting the resources into Gravesend proper, instead, we will go battle and over yonder to Gravesend East. Now, is that even going to link up? No, it's not, because the Battle Doof to Gravesend runs on the high-speed line. We'll still leave it as Battle Doof to Gravesend, but, we'll make some slight additions. Slight additions to the route right here. We'll do something like this. I mean, that works like an absolute dream. If indeed the video game was gonna let me do it. It will allow me to do that, though, so that's pretty darn nice. And let's just do that. Brilliant. So, is that gonna allow me to run now? See if we can connect all the stations. It don't look like it. It does not look like it. There is a little bit of crossover track here, so it should all run just fine. Gravesend East. Yeah, try running from the second platform. No, okay. Where did it run down? I'm pretty sure it did run down the high-speed line. I tell you what, it did run down the high-speed line, but it only ran down the high-speed line for this part. And then it shifted over to the regular line. Although, even if it was on the regular line, it should be able to get to this area. I tell you what, the reason that it's not able to get to this area is this is a bespoke line, isn't it? Yep, this is a totally bespoke line for the, what is it? The real grub line. Okay, so if that's the case, then we don't even need these high-speed alterations. We don't even need these high-speed line changes. We just need to straight up remove that. And then what we can do nice and easily is we can just set up a little crossover point over here. Will this work? That seems to work just the way I intended it, which is always nice, isn't it? There we go. And that should allow Battledoof to Gravesend to work. He says optimistically. Very, very optimistically. I mean, how on earth was it running before? I mean, it clearly runs into Gravesend. It runs on the high-speed line. So it does run on the high-speed line then? So why were you initially complaining? If it runs entirely on the high-speed line, then what the heck is the issue here, chaps? This is, I don't comprehend. This is, comprehend is the term that I was looking for. Is it perhaps an electrification issue? It totally is, isn't it? It totally is. It's totally an electrification issue. Right, let's redo exactly what we just undid. There we go. And then let's actually electrify the rest of this route. It's literally, like, what, 20 meters? 20 meters of electrification that is actually required. There we go. Ditch that. Ditch that. Okay, grand. Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Very, very quickly. At least it didn't take us too long to figure out. I say us like I'm trying to apportion the blame to people other than myself. That is, of course, not the case. I'll take full responsibility. It's going to mess up one of the dudes here. Yeah, you want to change that. That's nice. Upgrade that. Upgrade that. Upgrade that. And are we all good? I think we're all good actually now, right? So just Train 16 has decided to have a little bit of a problem. But that's okay. Breadliest catch will get you to turn around. Perfect. Alright, so Battledoof to Gravesend. Battledoof to Gravesend. Let's manage the line now. And let's uncheck Gravesend and instead stick you in right over there. It looks good, to be honest. It looks good. It looks good. So in battle, I want to... I'm going to need to edit the train because now it can only take bread. Right. Manage the vehicle. Let's go in and edit it. And we will remove all this nonsense. 160 meters is kind of our limit, but that's okay. We can work with that. Right. Gondola. That is exactly what I'm after. Do we have 120? We do have 120 mile an hour bits and bobs. 120 mile an hour trains. So let's use them. Brilliant. Okay, 4 million. That's an absolute steal. What's the capacity? 144. To be honest, that's pretty darn perfect. That is pretty darn perfect if I do say so myself. So Battledoof to Gravesend, it's using the right track, or should I say the left track, but the left track is the right track. That should mean that we should slowly see this shipment number increase all the way up to 300 and something, whatever the demand in Gravesend is at a given time. So that's quite nice. And then we should see the Battledoof to Gravesend route running fairly consistently, I would imagine. Fairly consistently. And as I've already said, I don't want to waste the production capacity of the Battle Food Processing Plant. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to institute a brand new superhighway. You guys all know how excited I get about superhighways. So we're going to utilize that as best as we possibly can, which is tremendously exciting. Battle Doof extra supply. Yeah, we're gonna introduce some more Battle Doof extra supplies. And I tell you what, we're gonna do this right. We're gonna do this properly. That's right, I said it. We're gonna do it flipping properly. Right, 3 platforms left, 3 platforms right. Let's make it a nice big truck depot. There we go. And then let's pop out into the street building menu. And we are going to straight up just bring the road off here. I kind of want to bridge, excuse me. I want to bridge as much as I possibly can. That seems to work, and it's only going to cost me $500,000. I mean, sometimes you just got to go for it, right? Let's do it. And we're basically going to try and supply Sutton Coalfield, and also, I was away to say Meddler with Wesham, but I think Hitchin might seem like the better bet. In fact, we might even be able to supply all 3, because Hitchin is pretty darn tiny, and actually so is Medlar. I think Sutton Coldfield's like 100 and something demand, 107 demand. So let's try and utilize all of the towns around here that actually are literally hungry for food, which is brilliant. Very, very, very good business opportunity right here, right now. Right, and we're gonna want to connect up onto... I guess we can kind of just use this existing superhighway. Alternatively, I could, of course, just upgrade this road to become a superhighway. Kind of defeats the point of having a superhighway, doesn't it, though? Yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly undecided. I mean, thing is, I'm going to definitely do that, right? We're going to upgrade this to a proper superhighway road, right? Because I want continuous superhighway. Why? I don't know. I just feel like it's really important to me right now. So let's do that. And then where are we going to be dropping off? Where are we going to be dropping off the goodies in Sutton Coalfield? Pretty much in the corner of town. So I'll do that. And then, you know what? I will create a branch of the superhighway. And we'll connect it up over here. Yeah, you know what? Maybe not the most efficient process, but if I set that up as a route, we'll see if it actually works in accordance with the way that I want it to work. New line. Brilliant. Also, by the way, it should mean that we're able to draw more resources from our farms, because I'm not entirely sure that all of the farms around here are being properly demanded from. There we go. That seems to work like an absolute charm. I'm very, very happy with that. We seem to be using the exact, proper, correct road. So this is Doof Extra Supply #2. I mean, I got to do the maths on this, right? How much of the extra supply are we using at present? We're supplying Haywood, and Haywood demands 265, so we're actually using 204 already. Now, we can obviously use up to about 400 even. I say that, 400. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 fields around here. That means that we can produce exactly 400 bits of food. To be honest, we're not going to have much spare capacity for the Gravesend thing. I tell you what, I might actually try and also utilize these 3 fields that we've got over here. They're not far off a superhighway, and if I could take all of these resources back to this central point over here, then we can just ship them all down to Gravesend. So I think we're going to try and do that. Okay, so this superhighway is actually important for a large variety of reasons. Right, Hitchin, you are very fortunately, in fact, going to be bombarded by a massive superhighway construction. Right. Now, it's not technically possible at the moment. This, you know, unironically, is kind of what I'm after. I do kind of want like a highway in the sky. Is kind of what I'm digging. So I would like this highway, and then I kind of want it to just swoop over the outskirts of Hitchin. Right, so let's do that. Sure. I know, maybe a little bit financially wasteful, but that's okay. It's going to look very, very cool. All right, so that goes around there. And then we're going to slowly but surely... there's a little bit of a collision. Ditch that. Nobody needed that road anyway. And then we're going to, yeah, just level it out right over here. Perfect. Now, the reason that I want to do this is that I basically want to create a direct as possible superhighway route between these fields over here, these farms. Right. And increase the height a little bit. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. You still are not happy with that, right? Well, you know what? I'll raise the height a little bit. That's totally fine. And we can bring it across here. Ditch this road. This road will be unnecessary anyway for our requirements. It's not a main road, so nobody really cares. I want to be very careful. Not to... I don't want to link up to that road, to be honest. I really don't want to link up to that road. The reason is that I don't want trucks using this section of superhighway in order to transport the goods to Sutton Coalfield. I really want this to be an exclusively used for grain superhighway, which may, you know, sound a little bit silly, but it's kind of the vibe that I'm going for at the moment. Now, of course, I could use trains for this, but there are a variety of issues with that. The first is that I would need to create 3 train stations, and I don't really want to create 3 train stations over here. Secondly, just recently, there's been a whole bunch of, like, advancements with regards to road technology. So, I mean, we're living in the best time possible to create roads and road depots. It's really exciting. Yep, that's fine. And stick that in there. And thirdly, I don't really want to faff around with building a bridge or a tunnel over this section, the Hitchin section, because if I was to do that, then that would inevitably speed up, slow down, you know, the trains. And I want full speed ahead sort of productivity on this line. Right, so let's get that all linked up. Brilliant. We've now got 3 extra fields with a capacity for about 600. Yeah, well, exactly 600. Exactly 600 grain. Fantastic. We're also going to, of course, need to accommodate the drop-off point in Hitchin. Brilliant. And I mean, I did say that I wanted to supply Medlar. But honestly, with a capacity of about 105 in Sutton Coalfield, with about a capacity of, what, 28 at the moment in Hitchin, and a capacity of 260 in Haywood, yeah, 265, that pretty much takes us up to our limit of production in the battle food processing plant. So, yeah, I think we're probably fine for that at the moment. We're fine for extra supply at present, right? So there... to there. Yes, we haven't connected it up yet. We haven't taken off a road. I would like a... I don't really need a highway ramp, to be honest. I just need a regular bit of road. There we go. And that will allow us to drop bits and bobs off at Hitchin, which is totally perfect. I don't really care about pollution in these little towns anyway. I'm fine with that. Right, so this is Doof Extra Supply hashtag 3. Bada bim, bada boom. There we go. We are golden. Right. Now we need 3 routes. 1. Okay. This is going to be called Doof Supply. Doof Supply Far number 1. That's right. The naming conventions just keep on getting more and more abstract the later the game gets. And this is going to be Doof Supply far hashtag 2. Brilliant. And then we'll finish it off with a third. And this will be doof supply far 3. Why don't I just add them onto the, you know, the already existing convention, Battle for Doof? I could have made a, you know, 4, 5, and 6. I just feel like that would be unnecessary. That's right. I am the measure of how unnecessary things are. Totally. Right, so that's going well. How is this going to work? So I'd like pickup points to be, yeah, so Battle for Doof supply 2. Battle for Doof supply 3. Yeah, that's fine. And then the drop-offs can be kind of wherever. It doesn't particularly matter to me, to be honest. Cool. So what we need to do really is populate this with vehicles. Now, I know for a fact that you know, there's going to be a very, very exciting truck that's going to be released soon. Capacity. How is this capacity so high? 21? Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Right, so let's get 10 of these trucks. Sure. And then get them all equipped onto probably, yep, buy another 20. Wait, how many did I say? 10. Yeah, 10. And then stick them on Doof Supply Far 2. Already, I feel like this is a huge leap forward. This is crazy. Absolutely bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-Nas. And so that's going to be all of the supply. We also need to work... What the heck is that truck? Look at the size of that... Look at the size of that nose. Look at the size of that cab. Snozzer's huge. Right. And then... I mean, why don't we use these things? Yeah, medium truck, sure. Let's get 10. A little bit cheaper. And let's stick them on... Battle Doof Extra Supply 2. Or whatever it is. Extra Supply 2... Brilliant. I think 10 is probably overkill, but whatever. And Battle Doof Extra Supply 3. In fact, you know what? I'm absolutely not going to use 10 because I know how small this route actually is. I don't know why I'm selecting them all there. That's totally unnecessary. Supply 3. Yeah, Supply 3 runs to Hitchin, and we all know that Hitchin is tiny, and so it's only going to require, like, 2 trucks anyway. But, you know, I've gone with 5, so that's fine. Right, so let's see all of these trucks come out of the depot and get to work. We've still got the Battle Doof to Gravesend. I need to make sure that you are still set on full load in battle. There we go, full load in battle. And now we just need to wait and see how this actually pans out. I'm reasonably positive. I think it should be totally fine. We should be at full capacity. Yep, full capacity of all of the battle farms. Yep, full capacity production of all of the battle farms and also the Haywood farm as well. We're moving a heck of a lot of cargo. We are moving a heck of a lot of cargo to where it needs to go, which is very, very exciting. And we've got about a bazillion trucks waiting to get out of the depot here. Yeah, I wonder if there is any way that I can assist these trucks getting out of the depot. Probably not. Probably not, but they'll be out of there pretty soon, I guess. That's fine. Right, how much capacity do these trucks have? 9 capacity. That's not really what I'm checking. Battle Doof Extra Supply. They've got 11 capacity at the moment, so that is okay. Oh, how full is the train? 160. This Cross-Map Express is tremendously exciting. Man, oh man, oh man, I love it. I absolutely love it. Right, so let's see if we've done this properly. Let's see if it fills up with the required bits and bobs. I hope it does. Battle Doof to Gravesend still fills up with 3 food. I mean, it shouldn't fill up with food anymore because we're not going to Gravesend. We're going to, you know, a different area around Gravesend. We're going to the Gravesend East platform. So let's fill up with 100% of that, and let's unload that. Okay, look, I just want to make absolutely certain that absolutely works. I think it should. We're going to need to wait until all of our massive trucks are supplying the station. So that's fine. We should see this food peter out in just a second. Battle for Doof 3. Are we transporting all of the goodies that we need to be transporting? I think we are. I've already looked at this. I've already looked at this farm and reported positively. So that's wonderful. That's great. Okay. So now, really, I'm expecting Hitchin to grow. I'm expecting all of these areas to grow. We've got food waiting over here. We've got food waiting over there. Brilliant. I mean, how long is it going to take all of these trucks to get to where they need to go? Oh, you've actually got 4 food. Well, that is somewhat unexpected. Shipment figures are at 320, which is remarkably good, actually. As I've already mentioned, as I've already highlighted, we are able to supply 100% of the grain, which is nice. We have a lot of trucks. We have a lot of trucks waiting to get out here. Yeah, there's a lot of trucks over there. Okay, well, that's fine. That's totally fine. How on earth are we in such a precarious financial position? I really must take a look at my finances more often. Fueling Cotsgrave? How is this train not making money? I mean, I know it is an absolute beast. I get it. I get that it is an absolutely huge 320 meter long, exactly, train with a ridiculously large engine at the front of it. Is it just due to the fact that it hasn't arrived in a good long time? I mean, I get it. You know, I do. I'm also, you know, not entirely convinced that moving to a model where we have one singular train picking up all of these canisters of oil is the best thing in the world. However, it is cool as heck. It is cool as heck, and I freaking love it. So, I mean, don't go breaking my dreams. It's real good. Actually, fueling Cotsgrave is still doing fine. Yeah, probably not much fuel at the moment. 118 oil waiting over there. That's good. I mean, look, what can I say? The finances for this train are about to be fixed. Aha! This is the thing that I was talking about. Also, what the heck is that? 200 kilometer an hour electrified train. That is very, very exciting. And also a freaking hovercraft. Right. But anyway, the thing that I was majorly talking about was the Peterbilt. So, the Peterbilt, if I go and have a little look at the vehicle management section, and if I go to the three far supply areas. Now, most of the trucks are still waiting to come out, but that's fine. I'm going to get these guys all upgraded with the Peterbilt. So they have a capacity of 25 cargo, which is, I mean, incredible, which is more than the 21 over here. And they're just way better. They're just way better. Let's absolutely do it. It is going to cost me a little bit of money to do, but I was kind of figuring the Peterbilts for this job anyway, so I'm not, you know, I'm not super concerned. Not super concerned at all. And it should just mean that we're going to be able to, you know, we're going to be able to transport a heck of a lot of goodness, which is brilliant. Finally, the Peterbilts are finally starting to get out of the depot and get on the road. Yeah, this is kind of a little bit ridiculous how much traffic there is in this specific area. If I have a little look at the traffic overlay, what does it tell me? I mean, it says that it's not too bad. However, in saying that, it does look pretty darn garbage, doesn't it? I wonder if there's a better way of doing this. To be honest, probably not. Not even if I was to create like a separate routes. Yeah, let me try give this a shot. I mean, literally, I am moving so much traffic out of here that it is probably worth considering. There we go, do that. Will you actually turn right? The real measure will be if you go right. Right, remove traffic lights there, remove traffic lights there. Yeah, you totally will actually legitimately turn right. Okay, cool. And look at this. We are making a substantial impact on the traffic jams. Wonderful. It's only a temporary measure. I say it's a temporary measure. I mean, it's as permanent a road as any road that I actually build, but it's a pretty permanent measure. We'll leave that in there. But it temporarily solves all of the problems. Once, of course, the trucks have arrived at the battle halt. The battle halt. I like that. Or their first destination. We don't really need to worry about it anymore. Right, so hopefully these guys are going to do a fairly good job of picking up all of the resources. Given that they've got a ridiculously large capacity, I'm pretty sure we'll be a-okay. I also think that with 3 farms, we might have a slight oversupply of grain that will be going to Gravesend. But I'm not particularly concerned about a little bit of an oversupply of grain. That's fine. Yeah, production will, you know, it'll hover around the 300 mark, and that's just, you know, because of the fact that we just need more. We just need more grain, and we're not getting it at the moment. But that's fine. Right. So I think that the grain is adequately handled. Let's see if we can connect up Bishop Stortford now. We do have a track. We do have a track over here, but it's not currently connected up to the rest of the network. I'm kind of split, honestly, on what we should do with this track. You know, in one sense, I feel maybe we take it up to Shifnal, because of course that's cool as heck, and we have a massively busy Shifnal station already. And there's nothing from stopping us from expanding the Shifnal station. The other mindset that I have is that why don't we connect it up to Gravesend? I mean, Gravesend isn't exactly the most connected place on the map. I say that. It might be. It's not. I think Shifnal's probably the most connected place on the map. 3,900 destinations from Gravesend as opposed to 5,111 and 10 and 13 from Shifnal. Alternatively, we could just connect up to both. I mean, it's easier to connect up to Shifnal, because we just need to make a slight amendment to these tracks over here. But you know, delivering passengers from Bishop Stortford all the way over to Shifnal is a little bit silly. So I think what we'll probably do is we'll get it going to Gravesend, right? Which is totally fine. It's not going to be a high-speed line. I think it's just going to be a reasonably basic line in terms of lines. There we go. We're going to want to try and conserve as much speed as we possibly can. 62 kilometers an hour. I mean, 62 kilometers an hour isn't bad. It's just not brilliant. I'll tell you what we can do. We can bring the track from right over yonder to right over yonder. Will that actually work? That will actually work, and that will allow us to conserve the vast majority of our speed. Now, no guarantees that I'll be able to get a second track along here. Indeed, that was a sort of flawed premise from the very beginning, but that's okay. We can actually, you know, just merge this into one singular track. Again, trying to maintain as much speed as possible, but you know, there are limits. There are limits to how much we can go out of our way to do different bits and bobs. Ooh, lovely. Another high speed train. I don't think it's as good as the Shinkansen though, so yeah, let's not worry about it even slightly. But it's, you know, it's something to consider, I guess. One way. Yep. One way. We need more signals, of course, over here, because of course we're going to be using a heck of a lot of track over here. Right. So, Bishop Stortford, I said I wanted to go to. Brentwood. It barely seems like Brentwood's even worth connecting, to be honest. And then also Swaffham. Swaffham's definitely worth connecting. It's actually pretty big. Wisbench. I tell you what, I should probably just connect all of these towns whilst I'm over here, right? These 3 towns probably need their own, like, island level connection. Swaffham, I guess you could kind of argue, does also need its own island connection. But let's not worry about that for now. Okay, so Bishop Stortford. Is this a main connection over here? Doesn't look like a main connection. Right. Let's get building. Let's get building. We want a passenger station. Double. Yep. Standard. Just standard speed. That's fine. And we want to try and... I guess we could put it over here. I was originally thinking that it would be at the other side of town, but here's fine too, I guess. Put that in there. And we'll literally just connect the tracks up like so. Yeah, ditch all that. Then what I want to do is connect that up, except I'll do it with nice, fancy, actual, proper, you know, town streets. And that connects up a good number of the passenger houses in the town. What am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so a good number of the houses are going to be reached by the station. Not all of them, but I mean, I think, to be honest, Bishop Stortford's probably just a little bit small to justify setting up a tram network. In my opinion, of course. You may differ. That's not going to work, and I don't understand why. That's not going to connect either. I mean, I'm literally holding it right there, but whatever, I guess. Yep. Nice long connection, so as to conserve as much speed as possible. And you don't want to operate there. That's fine. I get it. Goodness gracious me, what is it with connecting up from this specific track? I don't get why that's so contentious. Fine. Also, this entire route is going to need to be diesel, so there is absolutely no point in building any electrification. Brentwood, I mean, am I going to go to Brentwood? I guess I might as well, right? I guess I might as well. Ditch that. And then I'm going to do something which I mean, usually I'm sworn to not do. But I'm going to do it because, I mean, well, first of all, I can. And second of all, I feel like I need to build more bridges in this series, just as a rule of thumb. The good thing about committing to use like standardized track, just, you know, standard speed track, is that you don't really need to worry about you know, the possibilities of ever needing to high speedify it. You know, so this track is never going to be high speed. Maybe it should have been, but I mean, I don't really want it to be high speed. It doesn't feel like it should be a high speed track, you know. So we can actually afford to build a little bit of bridge. Yeah, you know what? I will get the upgraded bridge. It does say that there's a collision. I don't get it myself, but that's okay. 120 miles an hour. That's going to cost me $7 million for that bit of bridge there. I kind of like the idea of a $7 million bridge. I also think, should this upgraded bridge not work to allow trains to go a little bit faster? I don't know, but it doesn't particularly matter. Right, all the way down here. What's that? Another 3 million? Easy, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Sometimes it's just really important that you have, you know, nice works of art around. I mean, look, part of the attraction for traveling to Brentwood, I guess, is this massive, ridiculously long bridge that I've just built. Because other than that, can you find any reason to visit Brentwood? I certainly cannot, that's for sure. Right, so the next part of the journey will take place over in this direction. Now, what I'm gonna do over yonder is something, again, a little bit unusual. We're gonna basically route the track right down to Swaffham. That's right, the worst named town on the map, or the best named town on the map, depending on your thoughts. And we're gonna have a terminus station, whatever, in Swaffham. It's gonna be exactly where you would imagine, right over here. Tell you what, Swaffham is probably big enough to justify getting a tram system, but we'll worry about that in a little bit. Yeah, so Swaffham will be indeed the last stop on the route. Are we even going to be able to maintain 120 miles an hour this whole way? I do indeed think we will be able to. That's very exciting. What a lovely little bit of seaside scenery right over there. Very, very cool indeed. Brilliant. And so then we're going to retrace our footsteps, doubling up the track, just like so. And yeah, we'll continue all the way back to, well, just after Brentwood. Is it Brentwood? It is Brentwood. I really can't remember the name of the town because it's just so small and insignificant. Anyway, so that's Swaffham. Brilliant. And then what we're going to do is we are going to have another little station over in Fordwich? Sure. And then there's also Wisbech that I want to connect up. I think I might actually connect that up with vehicles. With vehicles. Everything's a vehicle in this game. I want to connect it up with buses. That's the term that I was looking for. But yes, we're going to have a terminal station, a terminus station, a terminal station, whatever. I mean, it's you know, semantic difference. I'm not bothered about it. Right, let's get a nice upgrade to the bridge. Right, I'm building much more directly, as you can probably see. Mostly just because I've got the money. And I kind of like building directly. I like building bridges. It's very amusing. I like it a lot. Cool. So, 120 kilometers an hour turn there. Brilliant. And also a 120 kilometer hour turn here, which I absolutely cannot connect up, but that's fine. We'll do it in the other direction. And brilliant. What do you know? Technically, I didn't need to build this stretch of track in the middle here, but whatever. It only cost us, whatever, like $50,000 or whatever. So there we go. So that's a cargo station in Swaffham. So that is immediately going to get replaced. That's pretty stupid. Thank you, presumably, to everyone who noticed and called me an idiot. I'm glad that I, in some way, entertain you. There we go. Connect that up. That's the proper passenger station. Happy, happy days. Everything else is a passenger station. It looks like everything else is indeed a passenger station. So, without further ado, let's see if we can try and connect up. Let's see if we can try and connect up this nonsense. Where is... We only have one passenger platform in Gravesend, though. That's a bit of a... It's a bit of a problem, actually. That is a bit of a problem. I mean, what lines are we using? Building Gravesend? We're literally just using those two. So, I mean, if I go into here and I configure this Gravesend station, which is going to be a little bit of a pain in the backside, but, I mean, kind of necessary, I guess, right? And I just delete this whole bit. There we go. Then we can, in fact, we can install 2 more passenger lines if I do this. Firstly, because the platforms are thinner. The passenger platforms are thinner. And so, yep. Oh, goodness gracious me. I think, supposedly, this delay, this sluggishness, has got to do with the sort of calculations for the number of routes that can be achieved. Supposedly, and supposedly the developers are going to be making optimizations at some point in the future. This doesn't really need to be electrified track, but you know what, I'll just make it standard track, fine. The point is that we've now got, is that an even number? Yeah, that's an even number of cargo and passenger platforms over here. It is kind of ridiculous how I have a huge station in Gravesend and I'm only using like 2 tracks or 3 tracks as opposed to the total 6 that are now on offer. But you know, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna take the number of tracks up to 4, which is quite exciting. That's quite good. Yep. I think that will work just fine for our needs. So, let's see. Start off here. I would like to use track number 3, please, because that will put us on the main line, so to speak. The main line, which will allow us to go down to Bishop Stortford. Couldn't connect all stations. I mean, that is a bit of a shame, to be honest. a bit of a shame. But we'll continue. Let's press onwards. Right. So, I want you to be using the other track at Brentwood. Yep. And then we'll head up this way. I mean, I don't particularly care which track you use in Forditch. In fact, yeah, okay. I need to give you a little bit of crossover, but that's fine. We also need to set up some signals on this route, which is sorely lacking at the present moment. Okay, so yeah, swap over to the other line over there. Brentwood, the connection between Brentwood and Forditch doesn't seem to want to play ball at the moment, but that's fine. That's fine. Over there, wonderful. And then we want to head back from Swaffham. I'm not going to go via Forditch, but I am going to go via Brentwood. There we go. And in Brentwood, we're going to want to use... Oh, this is ridiculous. I need to set up some signals. Need to set up some signals here. So that there is at least like a hint of a way of me detecting where our issues are coming from. Yeah. This all works. Yeah, fine. Okay. Let's go back to planning. So at Brentwoods, we're going to use the other platform. Hold on. Yeah. That there. So that's going in the opposite direction. You're coming back on this line. We should be using platform 1. Yeah, we should be using platform 1 in Brentwood. That's fine. And then let's just finish this out. Let's just finish this mess of a setup out. Fine. Yep, Bishop Stortford sidings. And then you'll go all the way back to Gravesend. Brilliant. Okay, so there is an issue between Brentwood and Forditch. Did I connect up the wrong track? I think I connected up the wrong track over here. So, yeah, I've connected it up to the wrong track. That's fine. Easily amended. Always issues like this. Teething problems, if you'd like. There we go. That issue has now been removed. And it looks like everything should work out just fine. Wonderful. I need to think of a catchy name. Thus far, I'm empty. Ain't got nothing. I don't know how many trains, by the way, are going to be running on this route. Also, that track is connected to the wrong track as well. There we go. Now that should resolve it. Correct? No, it won't resolve it because we need crossover over here. Brilliant. Technically, it doesn't need to be a double crossover, but I always like to make it a double crossover. Just seems more responsible, you know? Right. That's all looking pretty darn good. We've got 3 million in the bank at the moment, so it's probably best if we just, you know, press the play button and wait for, wait for a little bit of cash to come rolling in. Which is very, very nice. And with 6 million, are we going to be able to get ourselves a train? Not really. We don't even need a good train. We just need a cheapy old garbage diesel. Not super essential, but whatever. How are you not taking any oil? Why are we not taking any oil on Oily 2? Why are we not taking any oil on Oily 2? Presumably we're at full capacity. Why are we not transporting any oil over here? What the heck is happening? Oh, I see what's happened. So, effectively, the flippin' station doesn't now link up to the road, which is, I cannot tell you how irritating that is. I cannot describe to you right now how unbelievably irritating that is. I mean, will that work? That does actually connect it up. Okay, brilliant. So now we're able to transport oil again. That I guess was part of the problem. I mean, we were running these, you know, these boat services, living on a prayer especially, which we just weren't transporting any oil. But now we should indeed be transporting oil again. That is irritating. That is irritating. That is very irritating. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty irritated at that. So that was, I don't want to say that was half of our network, but that was a good chunk of our network, which was just, you know, useless. Just entirely useless. Whatever. Not angry or anything. Nope, not bitter. No siree. Also, where do we launch trains from these days? Where the heck do we launch trains from? Like, near Gravesend. Do we have any depots near Gravesend at all? I don't think we do. I actually don't think we do. Right, are we going to have to build a proper Gravesend depot this time? I guess we can build a Gravesend depot. To be honest, it's been a fairly long time since I last sort of delved deep into the sort of tracks around Gravesend. Cool. So we'll do that. We'll do that. That'll all work. Do I just want... I think probably I just want like a diesel wagon. Pioneer Zephyr. Honestly, not a bad investment. We just, you know, stick 2 of these, 7 million a pop, 8 million a pop. We stick them on and, you know, just work, really. They do go up to 177 kilometers an hour, but I mean, I almost never see these guys reaching 177 or whatever. We'll stick them onto the route, which is line 9, if I'm not mistaken. But that is, of course, going to be renamed to the... What did I say? South Shifnal? The South Shifnal. It's not even going to get an express or any other clarifications. It's just going to be... It's just going to be that. Right. Let me put a... Doesn't need to be a one-way signal. I'll stick that there. Brilliant. So that should just help out a little bit. And let's see the beautiful Zephyr come around those trees. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. It just looks so darn good. I mean, it's such a value purchase, isn't it? It's such a value buy. And there should be another one following in close pursuit. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Aircraft 48's coming into land. Here we go. Here comes the second Zephyr. Brilliant. Very, very, very enjoyable indeed. Cool. Right. How many people have we got waiting for the South Shifnal route? Probably not many. Probably not many at all. Let's get Shifney has got a good number of people waiting. And in fact, to be honest, we could even think about upgrading this to a proper like electric unit. I know that it's kind of nice having the Flying Scotsman, but I feel like it would be really cool. So why don't we at least consider it? Sure. Right, I need to get this bit of track upgraded. That bit of track upgraded. Yep. Brilliant. And any other bits of track upgraded? I think this is all upgraded at the moment. Yeah, cool. Think so. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go. Okay. You can maybe even try using one of those new metro thingies. That's right. One of these things. No. Yes, one of these metro liners. That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I'm after. Shinkansen still runs way, way faster, but that's fine. It's going to cost us 23 million in order to get that replaced. Let me take out a little bit of a loan, because I kind of would like to see that. Also, what's the capacity of the metro liner? I don't even know what the capacity of the metro liner actually is. However, it is 81, as opposed to the 80 capacity that we have at the moment. Right, so we are basically just upgrading purely for speed. And I guess a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of capacity. And to be honest, the capacity is kind of needed. We are, you know, we are almost there in terms of, we need more. We definitely need more. And is it even possible for me to, sort of go in and edit these trains? And I think I can get like a Metroliner wagon. A west. Yeah, see, that's exactly it, right? So we add two more wagons on here. Costs me 10 million. All right. Looks like there has been a little bit of an accident over here, and by a little bit of an accident, I mean that looks like a serious accident. Okay, the train is basically parked up right against that concrete. I gotta be real. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. Who's gonna take the hit on this one? Who's gonna take the PR fall? It sure as heck ain't gonna be me. The good news is that we are gonna be able to load up a pretty full load. Okay, all right. All right, anyway, these trains are now absolutely huge. They're gonna be able to get up to a fairly high speed, I hope. And you know what? What's really important is that all of the design schemes look exactly the same. Also, what I'm gonna do real quick, I'm gonna set these guys to a nice lime green color. New vehicle that I absolutely don't care about. Look at that. I mean, it looks hideous, but I feel like it means something. It's symbolic of something or other. Also, how's our Battle Doof to Gravesend route doing? We're carrying 69. You can't beat it, can you? We're carrying 69 grain over here at the moment, so that's pretty good. It's gonna take a little while to get there, but you have to wait for all good things in life, or something like that. How are we doing over in battle? I was way to say doof, but no, it's not doof, it's battle. We're not doing too badly, apart from the fact that we're doing terribly. Yeah, so this area definitely needs to get changed. Battle doof extra supply. Okay, so this is just broken. This is just absolutely horrific. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Okay, should I make a station entrance? Should I make a bespoke station entrance? I feel like I have to. At some point you just need to, you just need to grasp the situation with two hands. Right, I'm gonna have two exits because I don't really understand, nor do I care about the way in which trucks travel around this in increasingly odd and ridiculous ways. So I'm just gonna, have two bespoke station exits, and whichever exit is easier for trucks to access, then that can be the one that they can use. Now, this whole massive bridge that I've just built, please tell me that it's not for nothing. It's not going to be for nothing. We're gonna build an even better bridge. There we go. That's right. I feel kind of dirty because now this section of road is going to be much less used. But that's okay. Also, the size of that connection over there, I really feel like it's pretty obscene. Anyway, are all the trucks gonna work? Yeah, seems like they will. Brilliant. I say it seems like they will. The problem with running these Peterbilts is that they just are so unbelievably irritating because of the size. The size of these things are just gargantuan. They really are. And so things can often get stuck with relative ease. Alright, what else? What if I do it the other way around? I mean, Battle Halt currently uses... Yeah, why can you not just exit up here? Why can you guys just not exit out here? Yeah, just straight up exit. Look, I'm literally providing you with a number of viable exits. Okay, so you're gonna go right up here now. So that at least is a small win. Alright, can I manage this line? If I was to change... If I was to change it to 6. There we go. Okay, so that at least makes some sense. Fix that issue somewhat, which is nice. I'm not able to change the traffic lights over here for whatever reason, but doesn't particularly matter, as there shouldn't be that much traffic. There's a little bit of a queue, but that should all get resolved reasonably quickly. Brilliant. Okay, looks like we've worked through the backlog, which is lovely. We should be providing 100% of absolutely everything to Battle Food Processing Plant. This little shipment inconsistency and transport inconsistency is because of the fact that I let this situation get so out of hand. That's fine. And we are at 104 out of 108 grain, which I must say is actually pretty remarkable for this stage. So that's pretty good going, if I do say so myself. I'm very happy with that. And we should be able to take, that's probably, 104 is probably like the exact required amount at Bewdley. I haven't connected up Bewdley yet. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. I don't really care about Bewdley, though. Not my primary concern at this moment in time. So we should immediately see, yeah, we're much closer to that objective right there. So that's good. Very, very close to that point. And we should, yeah, we need to be seeing this number creep a little bit higher, but that's okay. We'll undoubtedly see that in a little bit. Something else that I've been thinking about a lot recently is that we are constantly overstoring bricks in the Gravesend South station. And we've got the route, we've got the building Gravesend route, which is, which is fine. And I always thought it was probably enough having one train. However, now that I've come to think of it, probably getting a second one is advisable, really. Purely because this single train isn't able to keep up with demand. Yeah, we just need more bricks. We just need more bricks to be moved into the town. So we're gonna get on that. Right. So after a fairly embarrassing series of little mishaps, what with the whole oil thing and then the whole, vehicle thing, the lorry thing. Are we now moving oil? How much oil are we taking? 32 out of 133? I mean, it's a start, right? It is a start. Yeah, all of our oil routes basically became unbelievably unprofitable. Literally with a flick of a switch. Literally with a flick of a switch. Can you believe that? I certainly can. Bishop Stortford. We got a fair few passengers waiting over there. We got a fair few passengers waiting to go. Got a fair few passengers over here. 42 passengers over in South Shifnal. And a bunch over there as well. Okay, so that's actually not too bad. That's actually not too bad at all. How many passengers have we got? 6 out of 52. Yeah, so as frequently happens, nobody wants to go to the small garbage towns. I mean, why would you, right? Why would you? Why would you at all? So nobody really wants to go to... Oh, I suppose this is the only loading point in Forditch. I didn't really think about that. So we're actually going to need more trains than this on the line. Purely because it's such a long line. Yeah, well, the good news is that we can basically double the trains just like that. And, it's, it's not going to cost that much at all. I think that that's probably a decent capacity. The reason that we need to double the number of trains is that, the route is actually... I didn't really think about how long it was. Like, it is actually quite long. That's not a phrase that I hear often, but, there you go. A little bit of insight for you. Right, yeah. So you're doing fine. All these guys are doing a great job. All these Peterbilts. I don't know why I say guys and Peterbilts. I feel like he is a person. Just a guesstimation there, but there you go. I feel like I know him personally with the number of his trucks that I've bought, I do operate a fair number of them. Right, 144 grain to be transported. That is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Very, very chuffed with that. Again, looking at Bewdley. It's fine. 5 out of 52 passengers. I mean, that's not brilliant. That's not brilliant. But we're going to need the capacity for when we come back. I mean, 31 people already waiting to be picked up at Stortford Sidings. And that's on top of the 25 that are willing to go to Gravesend in Brentwood as well. There's 17 people here. So, you know, if everyone on this route wants to go to Gravesend, which is, I guess, kind of what you need to assume, there's going to be very few people that want to travel on the outbound service, but loads of people that want to travel on the inbound service. So, you know, we've just got to come to terms with the fact that we need to have more passengers, more passenger capacity. So there we go. I mean, Gravesend, holy cow, is becoming pretty darn busy. Pretty darn busy. And you know what? That's bad. That's bad for business. It's bad for everyone. The fact that we have an airport right next to Gravesend is, you know, it's a bit of a problem, actually. It also looks like it looks like the approach for Even Goodlier is literally, yeah, so you're literally landing over here. So the approach for Even Goodlier seems to be literally over the city. Which is, I've got to be honest, not fantastic. Not fantastic, even one little bit. Yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to try and do here, I'm going to try and configure... Can I get a second runway now, by the way? Which I'm immediately reconsidering, by the way. Getting a second runway. Right, ditch that. Ditch the approach lights, because I want to change the angle of approach. So, that may indeed make a slight difference. Might allow us to... Wait, I thought you landed. Well, that's magic. You managed to take off again. Yeah, so... The emissions are at absolutely obscene levels here. This is straight up terrible. And most of it anyway, is caused by the aircraft. So if we're able to reduce the amount of aircraft flying around here, then I mean that will literally increase our growth by 115 residents if we're able to get rid of all of the emissions, which we're not going to be able to. But I'd at least like to take it down to 30%. That's kind of what I'm after. 30% would be a great success. Also, I feel like we need to redesign this bit of track over here. Because, you know, whereas before Gravesend used to be reasonably small, and you know, we weren't really worried. I mean, this track used to be on the outskirts of Gravesend, but now it's on, you know, literally the border of Gravesend. So I think what we want to do is try and take this route out a little bit. We'll design a brand new rail route for the wonderful town of Gravesend. Quite simply, we don't have any other option. It's got to be done, and we're gonna go far away this time. Even if it increases the length of journeys by a little bit, I think it's still worth doing it. I'm not super interested in you know, destroying the speed though. You know what? Maybe it's time to get rid of Gravesend's first and perhaps only dedicated road depot. There we go. Right, that was a short-lived experiment, wasn't it? The shorter the experiment, the greater the opportunity to learn. Said nobody ever, but I said it to make me feel better, so there you go. I mean, how close are we over here? We're not super far away over here. Right, is there any chance that we can do something like that? I mean, that's not a great solution, but it does mean that it makes everything remarkably easier to manage. By manage, I mean that we don't need to redo all of these connections. Yeah, because this is a little bit of a nightmare zone. Yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? This also needs to be redone, this route. Yeah, I know. I'd tell you what would also be a cool addition is if you're able to, like, place, like, 4 tracks all at once rather than laying the tracks out individually. That would be pretty cool. Right. So ditch that. And then that goes right over yonder. And that goes right over there as well. Now, is that actually connected up appropriately? It looks like it is. Okay. Take this back. Take this back. Take that back. Fantastic. Okay, so that works. The speed does slow down considerably, but that's okay. Take this back. Take this back. Now, hopefully, this won't interfere with any of the sort of like extra routes that I've merged into these tracks. Only 2 trains actually have an issue at the moment. That's great. I'm honestly surprised and kind of happy that that's the case. Okay. And that just links up there. I mean, I would be delighted to see Gravesend grow out to this size before the end of the series, but I don't think or expect that to happen. Right. So that resolves all of the issues that we have with all of the lines. Let's just you know, let's let the trains actually get to work. You should still be able to get to your location, right? Okay. Why is this just not working? There we go. Alright, that seems to maybe have fixed the problem. So you guys are both waiting for a free path. I see what the conundrum is here. So you're going to... Oh no, you should be able to... You should be able to get there. Let me stick in a signal right here. Will that allow you to go? That will allow you to go. Brilliant. Okay, that might end up being a truly disasterful signal, but it might not be. It might just work. Okay, so now that we've got all of the trains off that specific section of track, the only thing that we need to keep an eye on is the aircraft. Are there any approaching aircraft on Even Goodlier? That's first flight over there. Any approaching aircraft on Even Goodlier? Can't see any at the moment. It's because they're all still reeling from the mess that was the reorganization over here. Yeah, so these guys... Is this even gonna work? What is happening here? Can I get you to turn around? Gravesend International Cargo Airport. Oh, hold up. You're on your approach, aren't you? You're going to Gravesend International Cargo Airport? That's cool. So I don't think at this height, however high you are, I don't think that you're able to lay down any sick emissions. I don't think so. We'll keep a close eye on the ground. Yeah, it looks fine. Looks totally fine. And then you'll come in for your approach and land over here. Okay, and that's another plane over there, which failed its approach. But even then, that one is still not... yeah. That one's still fine. You're coming in for your approach now. And you've also failed your approach yet again. I think there is some shenanigans occurring right now. There are definitely some shenanigans occurring right now. Right. Let's get you to turn around. Get you to turn around. Get you to turn around. Let's just get everybody to go to Lower Burnley. You're going to Lower Burnley. You can go to Gravesend. Actually, you can go to the cargo airport. Yeah, okay, cool. And you guys can just take off. We'll just get this sorted. Close your tail. Close your tail. That's not a good way to fly. Not a good way to fly, my dude. That is not super hot. I don't love that. I don't love that approach to flying. Surely the aerodynamics would be borked. You're going to Lower Burnley. You're going to Lower Burnley. Let's get you to turn around and come to the cargo. No, you can go to Lower Burnley. You've got full cargo. Now I need you to turn around. And I need you to turn around. And you're already going to Gravesend Cargo Airport anyway. That's fine. Okay, so that should amend that. I don't think we have any new aircraft to unlock, do we? Not really. I've used a couple. I've used a couple of these new aircraft, but none of them are super essential for replacements at the moment. Right. Okay, this is again becoming a significant problem here. How are you not able to get in here? Oh, it's because we're waiting for the Pioneer Zephyr. The Pioneer Zephyr is waiting for a free route. South Shifnal. It's waiting for a free route on here. That's a bummer. And what about Bradley's catch? Uses... Is there no way that I can make like a later transition between... Construction's not possible? I mean, is this an essential bit of track? Doesn't look like an essential bit of track. Nothing's throwing up issues. There we go. Okay. Problem solved? Problem solved. Simple. That's all I needed. A little bit of perseverance. A little bit of perseverance was all that I needed. And that... Has that had any notable effect on emissions? We're down to minus 40%. That's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. There is a little bit of an issue with stations overcrowding, I guess. Probably in the fact that we haven't delivered, a bunch of supplies in a good long time. But that's okay. That's okay. We're at minus 92 residents now, as opposed to the horrific minus 115. And to be honest, I would not be surprised if that didn't decrease further. Or I would be surprised if it didn't decrease further. That's what I mean to say. The point that I'm trying to make is that I think it will decrease further. There you go. Right. South Shifnal, 9 passengers waiting to be picked up. Delightful. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, what a saga. What a saga. What an episode. But what a great episode at that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to play Transport Fever 2 for you today. My name, of course, has been Open Potato. Thanks as ever to my fantastic Patreon supporters. I'll see you next time. Bye.